Can I remind you, the Leviathan axe is not a real-life weapon. Neither is your pew-pew-pew gun.
Why don't you just leave? If you can freeze time and then leave. Because why are we here?
And in another Star Wars movie, it's like, we get it.
You were supposed to research beforehand.
I did. I was confirming.
Good response. I just wish you connected it practically, but then you guys spoke about KFC.
Nothing says Christian like arguing.
Hello and welcome to this special gaming episode of Plot Armor, the show where we fight fair but fight hard to answer stupid questions about the movies you love, hate, or have never even heard of. I'm your host, Vincent Potrito. Let's meet our contestants. Sitting right next to me, from gaming screens to playmaker flair, he's got loyal pups, great smile and hair. Give it up for Canton Parker. Canton, how are you doing? It's great to have you here.
I just wish I had the same surname like you. I feel like it sounds like a coffee bean. Oh, can I please have a little bit of the poquito? And they're like, yes, sir, coming right up.
What I wish is that you could pronounce it correctly, but we'll get into that the next episode.
Jammer, mevrouw.
Please tell me, first of all, I want you to shout out a game you love, because it's the gaming episode.
I don't know if anyone will remember this. It's the first thing that comes to mind. But back in the day on PlayStation 3, it was revolutionary when the DualShock controller had the motion gyro effect in it. So there was a game called Lair. And you
sounds familiar.
And you pretty much flew a dragon. And
yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like that for me was at the time. Now it's obviously very different, but at the time that was like, man, that is so innovative, cool. And that's cool. So yeah, that's I guess.
No, I love that. That's a good plug.
I think it's a good mention of a game that either you know it or you don't, and if you do, well done. If you don't, you need counseling.
The people who know it are like, yes, you mentioned Lair. I've been waiting for it. But before we go on to the next person, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? And what do you do?
So I am an all-round fun guy who has 2 French bulldogs, a loving wife. I love PlayStation.
Yes.
In case you
representing
didn't notice.
that.
Blessed enough to represent PlayStation South Africa, as well as an ambassador for Rode microphones in South Africa. And it's not Rode, but whatever.
He begged us to bring his own, but we believe in equality here, so we'll all sound shit.
If we shall die tonight. Anyway, and I think I like games, and this episode's going to be fun. We might not be friends after this, but whatever, I'll still win.
No, we'll see. Okay. I like the confidence. There's
fighting words right there.
But that's enough from Canton. Let's hear about our next guest. Sitting in gamer chairs and delivering epic prayers, he's told me backstage that he won't play fair. Give it up for Faden Kluter. Faden, welcome back.
Oh, thanks. Good to be here, man. I'm surprised I've been let back after last time.
Don't worry, I'm not going to shit talk the crow today. So you're in a safe space.
It's at one hit.
I believe you. Faden, tell us about yourself for the guests who didn't see you last time.
Okay, just a normal guy in all honesty. I have a love for community. Faith comes before anything. In my work time, I am an online journalist. I write articles about WWE, which doesn't sound like a real job, but it pays the bills.
It's Caleb's dream job.
And the dream is to be an author, which can hopefully happen in the next 10 years.
That's a good amount of time to make that happen. Tell us, what game do you want to highlight today?
Dude, so the game that started my love for writing, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
Okay.
And it recently got a remaster. I think it was around about last year, which I got. They've aged poorly, even with the remaster. I struggled to get through Soul Reaver 2. I was like, how did I like this? But I still love it. The dialogue, all of that just made me love writing. It's Shakespearean. If you can get past that, get the remaster. It's like $200. 100 and something on sale.
Hell yeah.
Sure. That's a steal.
Yeah, and you can buy yourself a sandwich with the savings. Let's go on to the next person. He's sneaking through history with Assassin's Creed pride while lending out PlayStations far and wide. Give it up for Caleb Janssens. Caleb, why did I put that in there?
Oh, because I literally lend my PlayStations out to everybody. Vincent has my PlayStation 4. His brother-in-law has my PlayStation 5. My PlayStation 2 is somewhere in KZN.
So we don't know if he's nice
with me though. That's my baby.
Is he nice or does he have a problem? That's to be decided. Caleb, is there anything you want to say before I ask you about your video game?
Basically, just that we are nearing the end of season 1 of Plot Armor.
Yeah.
But big things are coming in season 2, so make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Spotify, follow us absolutely everywhere, because next year is going to be even bigger and better than this year.
Definitely.
Awesome.
And Caleb, what do you want to highlight? There's one game I want you to highlight, and I hope you do. Let's see.
I know for a fact it's not. The game I want to highlight
Assassin's Creed.
is not Assassin's Creed,
Wild.
is actually Star Wars The Force Unleashed, specifically
Yeah, the PlayStation
the
version.
PlayStation 2 version.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, the PlayStation 2 and PSP version are completely different to the PlayStation 3 and Xbox versions. And usually you would think like the later generation is better. I remember playing the PlayStation 2 version first. I thought it was the greatest game ever made. And then when I got my PlayStation 3, the first game I got was Star Wars Force Unleashed. And it was such a
game.
serious
Yeah.
downgrade in comparison to the PlayStation 2 version.
I agree.
So if your only introduction is to Star Wars Force Unleashed, is like the PlayStation 3 version, do yourself a favor, find a way to get the PlayStation 2 version because it is so much better.
I fully agree with you. That's a really good point. And the sequel was terrible.
Yes.
So before we get into the episode itself, let me first explain the rules.
The rules are simple. 3 contestants face off over 5 debate topics. Each round runs 10 minutes and the host awards a point to the most passionate debater, the one with the sharpest argument and fiercest rebuttal. After 5 rounds, the top 2 scorers enter the speed round showdown. 5 rapid-fire questions with just 20 seconds to argue and 15 seconds to rebut. The overall winner gets crowned main character of the episode, while the other gladiators fade into obscurity as the extras.
Before we continue even further, you will see we have these delicious drinks in front of us. And for the viewers who are always with us, you'll know it's from Tebedien. So thank you once again, Tebedien, for the amazing drink sponsors. Cheers, and let's have a sip.
Oof, cheers.
Canton is brave. He is deciding to pair it with a cup of coffee. So what comes from this is not Tebedien's responsibility. Probably mix it. That is what we usually have to
It's
do.
a foreshadow of I'm going to be packing double punches in today's episode. Both sweet and bitter.
Yes, 100%. Let's hope, like the gyro controller thing, it doesn't become stale and unused. But I believe in you.
Hey, why, what? We've already kicked in.
Oh, you're going to come in with Astrobot. It's fine.
No. Ghost of Yotei. Okay.
Do they use the gyro?
Right. You start like a fire and you have to like use the what's called like the touchpad. D-pad, whatever you want to call it, and you like flint a rock.
Yes.
And then you have to do this to like do like you blowing into the fire to start a fire.
And how long into that process do you say, shit, I need to get out? But I believe you. It's fine. I concede.
And Astrobots. Bruh. Okay, as you were.
We'll have a PlayStation episode for him next. We are going to be talking exclusively about video game movies and video games today. So stick around for the special gamer episode of Plot Armor. But first, question 1. Usually, and I say again, usually, movies based on video games suck. There are absolutely some good ones out there, but let's rather focus on the bad and the negative. What is the worst video game to movie adaptation of all time? And we are going to start with Caleb.
So I'm going to take this very literally. What is the worst adaptation? And I'm going with Super Mario Brothers. That is 1993. When you watch that movie, absolutely nothing about it resembles the game in any way, shape, or form. When you are watching an adaptation, you are expecting to experience at least elements of what you loved about the video game on the big screen, and you do not get that with Super Mario Brothers. The characters, even something as simple as plumber overalls, they couldn't even get right. The villains are completely unidentifiable. There is nothing about the game that makes a transition to the screen at all. From aesthetic to soundtrack, nothing.
Just to confirm, you're not talking about the recent Super Mario.
Yeah, the 1993 version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before
But yes.
any of us were even thought of.
No.
Yeah. None of us we are.
So that's my answer.
That's a great opening argument. Kenton.
I would say, okay, and it's so funny. I had this conversation with someone a few days ago about movies to game to movie, kind of where do the lines get drawn and blurred. But a game to a movie, and I think it's a bit of a hit and miss, but Need for Speed. Like, okay, you're either a car person or you're not. I'm not a car person. I like, or you're
I'm a human person.
Yo, my bro, you know the 1.2 valve with the 3.4? Please
Yeah,
always
dude.
put calm down.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm not really a car person. I can appreciate it. But growing up playing, Need for Speed Underground, Underground 2, Most Wanted, those were games that were like, man, if you grew up in the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era, those were the racing games that everyone wanted to play. Now make a movie on paper. Sure, maybe this could be so cool. Maybe Most Wanted Pink Slips. And then you watch the movie and you're like, guys, how do I get back like 90 minutes of my life? Because that was horrible. It was such bad writing, horrible acting. Coming from a cinematography background, I thought that was useless. So yeah, Need for Speed, come on. Do better, church.
No, that's a great answer too. And then finally, Faden, take us away with your answer.
Okay, guys, I don't know if none of us were alive, I think, for the first Mortal Kombat movie, which was not the best, but it was so bad it was good. And the theme song apparently was played in clubs back in the day. Yeah, exactly. And, it was such a good time. I've watched the first one. It was questionable, but I had a good time. But guys, the sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, has some of the worst dialogue ever, not just for a Mortal Kombat movie, but just for a movie in general. I keep having to remind myself, that's actually Shao Kahn, it's not Kano. He takes the helmet off and he looks like Kano for the rest of the movie, but his delivery is just terrible. And CGI, bad CGI, final fight, CGI, Kano becomes a Hydra or three-headed dragon thing for whatever reason, and Liu Kang becomes a dragon and they fight, and that's how the movie ends. Not to
Spoilers.
mention,
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
yeah,
There goes
I just saved everyone's 90 minutes.
I know what
Don't
I'm not
watch it.
doing this afternoon.
You'll be happy for that, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just, I could go on about how bad this movie is because the fight scenes are useless. The guy, you might recognize him from like Dexter and The Warriors if you are like really into old movies, but he takes on the role of Raiden because, what's his name from Highlander Christopher Lambert decided, you know what? The second movie is so bad. I'm not even going to come back, even after Highlander 2, which is terrible. I'm not going to come back. So yeah.
That's great. Okay, game it out.
So I think the big thing that I really want to stress moving forward is the fact that with both of your films, you can see snapshots of it, you can see frames, and you can go, oh, I can see where that's inspired by the games. Like I was rewatching some of the racing scenes in Need for Speed, and like I was like, damn, why haven't we gotten a new Need for Speed game in quite a while? Because just hearing those engines, but not like the classics. Like I'm thinking like Underground 2 or whatever. But just hearing those engines made me want to play more Need for Speed. So in regards to an adaptation, I think it did a good job there. And even though your movie arguably might not be of the highest quality, I can see it and go, oh yeah, that's Mortal Kombat. I recognize those costumes. There is not a single thing about Super Mario Bros. That in any way, shape, or form resembles the video games it's supposed to be based on. You look at like King Koopa or Bowser, he has different names depending on the region that he's in. He's just a human. Where's my giant lizard turtle that screams about peaches? Like, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So, I think across the board in every way, shape, or form, not even the aesthetic is the same. They're living in like this dingy, dystopian, terrible world. Like, there's nothing about the movie matches up to the games.
So both your movies are 19 whatever.
19 whatever.
Yours is 93 and who cares?
So yours was what? 19?
93.
1993.
1993?
I think it was 94.
94. Yeah. So like, here's the thing. Your movies are old, okay?
Okay.
But now you're maybe comparing it in a like much recent style, aesthetic, production quality, which in my defense in you would be, oh, that makes sense. But they didn't have the stuff back in the day. So obviously I think Super Mario, like, how do you get that right? Mortal Kombat, how do you get that right? So does it look cheap? Did it feel cheap? Did it look cheap? Sure. But like, cut them some slack, people.
I'm not going to cut anyone slack because this is the thing. Super Mario did so much damage that for literal decades,
it scarred you for life.
No, for decades they refused. Like companies were like, no, adapting video games is like box office disaster.
Although
like,
they still did it.
They
kept
they
doing
did
it.
good, but like there was a stigma around video game adaptations that is very evident from the Super Mario world. Like people hated it so much. At least with Need for Speed, like there have been so many Need for Speed games, you can see where they got the story from. Like it's a little bit of Need for Speed Most Wanted, a little bit of Need for Speed Undercover, like throughout the DNA of Need for Speed, especially when the PS3 era was coming about, there was the whole idea of cops and double crossing and stuff. So even like the story does have the DNA of a Need for Speed story. There's nothing like that in Super Mario's.
Faden, I want to hear more from you.
Thank you. I was about to say, guys, I'm also here.
Just cut them off, man.
Although I like Mortal Kombat.
That's the thing.
I'll
like
give you that.
Mortal Kombat is so fun. If you like
Especially when you
violence.
rip off heads.
Yeah, that it should have been easy to adapt. They did not need to do the CGI, not even because it looked terrible, but it was unnecessary.
How would you rip someone's head off without CGI?
No, this is the thing. No one's heads were ripped off. I'm talking about the CGI for the monsters at the end. Liu Kang
He
and
turns
Shao
into a
Kahn.
dragon in the game.
That's for one fatality, and it doesn't. It's not even a fatality. They just duke it out as monsters. No, you can't. By the way,
Can I revert? You mentioned
let me finish.
CGI.
Let me finish.
1994 CGI was not CGI. It was an excuse of
It wasn't
Animation.
needed. It was not needed at all. So even though they put the CGI to, hey, look, we can do the animality over here, it was not needed. What people wanted to see was Liu Kang and Shao Kahn actually fighting. That was the point of the Mortal Kombat, is the combat. There was no combat. Anyways, Need for Speed. How do you adapt a Need for Speed story? Which is the actual, what did you expect? There's so little to work with. Even the stories. I love Most Wanted. I love Underground. Underground 1 has no story. Underground 2, it's an okay story, but like, that's it.
Also the bad guy
That's
in
it.
Underground too. His name is Caleb. Just
Exactly. Like, there's a
And
bad
just for
guy.
that, you get to give your final argument now.
okay, cool.
There's a bad guy here called Caleb.
Yeah,
too.
there's a bad guy here called Caleb.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
who
I
wants
just wanna
justice for Mario and Peach, please.
I just really believe at the end of the day, there is nothing within the DNA of the Mario movie that makes you think of the video games at all. You were talking about how you didn't like how the fatalities were executed, how the animalities were executed, but there's still DNA taken from the games. Same with Need for Speed. They have fast cars, and I felt the need for speed while watching it. I did not feel that Mario was at all super in Super Mario Bros. 1993.
Okay, Canton, give me your final argument.
If I can't remember the publishing house that produced Need for Speed, but guys, why do you need, no pun intended, but why do you need to reinvent the wheel? Like, no
There's
pun
4 of
intended.
them on a car.
There's 4, but like, for me, the best Need for Speed on planet Earth and possibly the Milky Way was Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Valid.
You've got, that dark, dingy color grading to the game already. As you're racing for pink slips. You got to collect all these cars. Like, guys, just do that. There's an upcoming hero, comes from, like not a good background, he's got this beat up car, somehow wins, gets his first pink slip, then he's like, hey, maybe I can do this, then it dips in the story, but then all of a sudden it's like, hey, finds love along, like you can framework it, but the whole premise of it is you're racing for pink slips, but then plot twist at the end is that the guy goes then to each and every single driver and gives them back their pink slips, and they all drove happily ever after. Like, that would be quite cool, because it's keeping true to the game franchise, the game installment of Most Wanted, but something that's still relatable to someone that can watch it at the end of the day. But what you instead produce is an abomination, and that's why we got Fast and Furious and everything went to shit.
That's a passionate closing argument, and then Faden, tell me.
So Super Mario, really, I'll agree, it's a terrible adaptation. But for the time, the reason why it was like that, which is very similar to the Double Dragons movie, which is also just about as campy. It screams 1980s, even though it came out like in the early 2000s. And while you will be disappointed watching it, it's not going to infuriate you unless you are a Mario fan. I don't know. I don't know. You can't win. Don't do that.
That's Caleb's alarm clock, by the way.
Yeah.
While he's waking up.
Hey, hold on.
Finish.
And then Need for Speed. I had to be reminded of that movie, which that's the key. It's forgettable. Valid. It's forgettable. But Mortal Kombat 2 is infuriating. It gives Highlander 2. And that's my close.
That is a great closing. This is the Darth Vader from Force Unleashed, okay? That's just video game relevant. Okay, great points and great opening question, arguing from all of you, but there was a clear front runner. I'm going to tell the people who aren't getting the point why they're not getting the point. Faden, you did well, but my issue is you you spent too much time on the CGI and not the overall arcing. You got into it a little bit, but you didn't get to that nitty gritty. And I think Faden took you down with him. I like the point you snuck in there at the end is a great
Objection.
point. It's not the bad in the way that it hurts you 20 years later. You know what I mean?
It's bad and it hurt me. So.
And we will celebrate that with you. But Caleb, your argument was good, and it was your opening argument.
Because you're in Assassin's Creed.
Too bad you.
I couldn't.
He knows.
I couldn't care. Yeah, I was thinking about that the whole round. I couldn't care less about Assassin's Creed, so I wasn't swayed there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Imagine in your own house.
I know. Close your ears, Bassem.
Would you like me to compliment you further, or are we done here?
We're done.
No, you did a good job at opening up, and you broke down the reasons why it wasn't a faithful adaptation. But the truth is, all of these are bad movies. Yeah. The least bad of them, in my opinion, Need for Speed, but don't worry, that wasn't taken into consideration.
Whatever.
I love seeing Aaron Paul on screen, so, that killed his movie career.
Aaron Paul.
Killed his movie career.
Besides Breaking Bad, if anyone cares about video game movies, one of the best, I don't know if it's anime, but we're going to just, it's not anime, but let's just say it is, but Final Fantasy Kingslayer.
Okay.
Guys, stop watching the podcast, watch it quickly, pause, come back, and then thank me later.
And we edited that part out. No. Finish
never
first
come
and
back.
then go watch Kingslayer. Okay. We are going to waste no time and we're going to get right into question 2, because who hates filler you know what's worse than filler in video games? Filler in podcasts. So we're going to go to question 2.
But fillings in donuts.
I love that shit. Okay. Video games are long. Hey, that's a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Video games are long. And video game sequels are sometimes even longer. So why play a 60-hour sequel? You want to finish the question?
No.
If it could just be a movie. Which video game franchise's follow-up property should be a movie instead of another video game, and why? Canton, you've got an epiphany, so go for it.
Jack and Dexter. Guys, don't play with me.
Woof.
Guys, Ratchet and Clank, thanks, appreciate it. You guys have done great for the franchise and the genre and the storytelling of things. But Jack and Dexter, where you've got two mates, they're doing their things, one accidentally falls into like some goo, whatever, becomes a little, Monsu ferret thing, or squirrel, I don't know what you want to call them. But like the humor, the character development, the storyline, they're trying to find the legacy of the precursor. And then, you got Jack 2, then you got Jack 3, you got the follow-ups, but the storyline, the framework, the humor that's in it, you can literally dub the whole franchise of the movie in such a way that is entertaining, empowering, and educational. Entertaining in the sense of what you're getting from the movie, educational from understanding that this comes from a game and how everyone can go back and see a new form of how the story was put together, and empowering knowing that there's two friends that stuck together, came together, did what they needed to do in the process of everything that Jack and Dexter brings to the table, and that in and of itself will be loved by long-running fans of the series, kids that have absolutely no idea what it's about, but parents that are just willing to go, hey, this is something that I can actually go back and introduce my kids to with the game, but starting from the movie, which is just a perfect cycle of how great that movie would be.
I love that.
I've won. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Okay, Faden, you try winning now.
I was about to say, man, are we cutting the podcast short? Okay. So I mentioned Legacy of Kain earlier, another game that also really just inspired my love for writing is the Max Payne series.
Caleb's gone.
Yeah,
He's
because
gone.
He
Caleb
just
sat down.
He quit, and that's good. So we don't need him to argue.
Yeah,
for it.
he's lost the point. Go ahead.
Yeah, Max Payne. It's a neo-noir. Neo-noir. I can never pronounce.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Noir.
Everybody has those days.
Yes.
Montana.
Showing your age there, buddy. Anyways, so Max Payne is this story about a gritty detective in New York who has to solve a it's a classic trope of, you know, there's murder, drugs, violence, and he's at the center of it trying to figure everything out because he is embroiled in it. The games in itself are, even though the gameplay is there, because Max Payne 2, Max Payne 1 is not really gameplay that good. I'm going to be crucified for that.
Gotta love that face, though.
Yeah. And then Max Payne 3 also just set the tone for GTA 5's gunplay. So gameplay-wise, it's there. But story-wise, these games have always been like movies to me. And what better game to deserve a, you know, movie sequel? This question's kind of weird, by the way. I was stumped.
That's what we do around here, man.
Yeah. And then, so I believe Max Payne 4 should be the sequel movie that we introduce for this series. And yes, it does arguably end in Max Payne 3, but Max Payne 3 got a lot of criticism because it takes the plot away from New York and takes us to Sao Paulo, Brazil, which is Sao Paulo. Thank you. Yeah, clearly English is where I need to stay. So
famous English word, Sao Paulo.
Yeah, Sao Paulo. So and what would really conclude this series is to just bring it back to New York. So hypothetical pitch, and I know we didn't, like, the question didn't say like cast actors, but John Hamm playing a like mid-50s Max Payne being called back to New York, where he has to solve one last case and deal with all the demons he left behind. Max Payne is sober this time, and now he gets to he's actually sober, and now he has to deal with his demons and put everything to rest while not having to, you know, be high all the time. And so finally just conclude this series on a actual low note, not a high note. So yeah.
Awesome, Caleb.
So I was thinking about, how do I make the best of both worlds in regards to making fans of the video games happy as well as fans of the cinema, like people who want to watch movies. So I thought about it for quite a while, and I realized there is a group of fans that are very passionate about a project, that want to see the project continue. And then there is a film franchise that's struggling with a ton of fans but hasn't received quality in a long time, and that's Star Wars. So I'm thinking a sequel to Knights of the Old Republic would be fantastic, because we have Knights of the Old Republic, very successful video games, and the fans have been clamoring for a sequel for a very, very long time. But the upsetting thing is the current state of Star Wars is in shambles. You've never seen a more divided fan base. So how do you repair that fan base? You bring in a property that is universally loved, that can still be explored, and contain some of the most important characters to Star Wars lore. And that's why I'm going with Knights of the Old Republic.
That's awesome. Before you game it out, I will tell you, focus on the fact that it has to be a sequel to the properties before, and go for it.
Fantastic. I think the biggest issue with Jak and Daxter is Jak and Dexter?
No,
what are you guys saying?
He's wrong.
What are you guys saying?
It's Dexter.
Why is this man staring like this?
Potato.
He's trying to manipulate me.
It's Dexter. Depends on what's out.
Get into the argument,
guys.
Either way, I think the biggest issue with that game is, and I love the games, but the fan base isn't where it used to be. I mean, if you look at Ratchet and Clank, they released some PlayStation games recently, and did they really take off the way they did in the PlayStation 2 era? No. There was no demand for Ratchet and Clank anymore, and Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter on a very, very, very similar plane. They had very similar fans. Obviously, based off of an RPG series, there are so many threads that could go in many different directions, but there is also the accepted lore. Now, what's great about Star Wars is you've got so many years to pull from. You've got the High Republic, you've got After the Empire, and then obviously you have Knights of the Old Republic. And that area has not been explored much in movie Star Wars lore. We have the new Star Wars lore, we have the new canon. Let's really break open those stories and say, what is canon? I mean,
I want to hear more before you continue. I want to hear more from you guys.
We'll hear from the others.
No, please stop. Anyways, okay. I love Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, specifically the second game. But it's better as a game. And also, do we really want, I don't know, is she still leading Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy? Do we really want her to touch more Star Wars? Do we want her to touch Knights of Old Republic?
Yeah, but there are people in Star Wars now. Like, I mean, if you think about all of the good work
but they still aren't doing
it. Look at the animated universe. It's doing fantastic.
What's it, the Mandalorian and Grogu? Oh yeah,
If
That's
you
a
can
movie.
cast
It
John
came
Hamm,
out,
I can
and then-
cast my own producers, and it's not good.
No, but again, that came out recently and nobody even knows that it came out because it's forgettable. Everything about it is just forgettable. So let's not do Knights of Old Republic right now. Maybe in 10 years when
When Star Wars being driven into the ground. No, I
and then
think
we can
Knights of
pick
the
it-
Old
we can pick
Republic
it
has the
back up.
ability to restore it.
Also, stop
Can
it,
you notice
stop
how we
it.
haven't spoken
Hey,
about Jack
listen.
and
I
Daxter?
wanna
Because
see
he's
it.
married.
Go for
I
it.
want to, because like when it comes to Jack and Dexter, my argument is who are they?
Ouch!
Who are they? Like, jeez.
Let's see if Canton can put as much passion into talking as he does staring. Go for it.
So, people of the land.
Yes.
First off, I'm going to do two birds, one stone here. First off, Max Payne. What is the difference between like Born Identity, Mission Impossible, all that rubbish in between? It's been overdone. And for the love of all things holy, another Star Wars movie. Can we please park it on the shelf, leave it alone? We get it. And I love Star Wars, just saying.
How about Park? You on the couch.
Wait,
Park,
I love Star Wars. I love the franchise, but gosh, bro, like, okay, we get it. Max Payne, I'm like, cool. What, we're gonna cast Jason Statham in an American accent, but Max Payne has hair, but Jason Statham's
John
bald.
Hamm, excuse me.
But like, it's done. Like, it's so predictable. Jack and Dexter, however, sure, Ratchet and Clank is the only other franchise that has done something similar, but it's something that is at least new, first of all, to the table, familiar, so that people that have, like, in our generation, it's like, oh, I play Jack and Dexter, that's cool. But also a new audience can experience something. Max Payne is like, oh, but bro, this is like everything else. And then another Star Wars movie, it's like, we get it.
Okay.
Do soundtracks count as a good argument?
I want Canton to wrap this. I will say your closing argument, and I want to ask you, because this will sway me. Is your movie an animated, and just this is not a question for you.
Okay,
is it animated or like a kind of fake live action?
I would say live action, only because you can cast it in a way where, maybe CGI here and there. But like, I think an animation is like too obvious, where I think live action gives it a little bit of that realism to it. And I think that, like, when you think of like the Sonic movie, okay, not the first.
But no, I know what you mean. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, when you look at it, you're like, hey, that's so well done. And unlike 1993 and 1994 and all of that stuff, we've got the technology to make it so beautiful and also the world of Jack and Dexter is very vibrant, it's colorful, and I think we'll do such a good job on that.
Good closing, Faden?
There's a reason that Jack never had a game after the PS2. His only appearance is in another forgettable game called PlayStation All Stars.
All Stars, just bookmark that.
Yeah, like just medieval Dan. So Dan is also an all-star. Sure. I love the character, but I don't think it should translate into a movie. Also, the arguments against Max Payne. Listen, Max Payne at its crux is not about the violence. So we're not going to have Jason Statham playing him. It's about the struggle of a man's struggle with his vices. And how does he make sense of his vices in a world where there is no love, so to speak of. At the end of Max Payne 3, while it's a really cool ending to have him walk off into the sunset, he left a lot of business done in New York that needs to be concluded. And Star Wars, do we really need more Star Wars? It's just like, let's park it. I agree with Gavin. Let's just park it for now. I'd love a Knights of the Old Republic.
Put your fluorescent tubes away, bro.
Okay, Caleb, bring them back.
So in conclusion, I just really want to say this. Like, there is very obviously still a desire for Star Wars. Yes, the most recent projects have not been as successful, but that's due to poor directing, that's due to poor producing. The fans are still there. You can see every time Dave Filoni or Sam Witwer talks about something, the fans get so incredibly excited. Star Wars has stood the test of time in extended media such as books, video games, everything like that, because it's not just centered around one family. It's not just centered around the Skywalkers. And all we've had in the primary movies are the Skywalkers. Exactly.
I just want to show you how old it is.
Why? Because it's dusty.
I would just like
Been done. Too much.
I would just like to say, just in conclusion as well,
sentence.
I think if we're going to do a live action Jack and Daxter, we're probably going to end up with Tom Holland or Timothée Chalamet, and none of us want that.
This is, Caleb's not going to expect what I'm about to say. because I never agree with this.
No, you bastard!
Caleb just perfectly casted Jack.
No.
I actually think Tom Holland would do a good job, but whatever. That's just
For who? Jack or Dexter?
Jack.
Why did you do that?
But I do think it could work. But anyway, thank you for that. Caleb, you had the best argument, but you were slain because the truth is, we don't want to see more Star Wars.
Thank you.
I'm wearing an S shirt for Star Wars.
I didn't even like James Gunn. Anyway, so
fine.
I think
drink
you
my
got
ice
slain,
water.
and it's crazy for someone who did more staring than talking.
Wow. Because my words had weight.
No, but that's the thing. So you're knocking them down. You had this single moment where you two birds with one stone. The birds are dead. Well done.
Yeah.
And I think you
And
brought
guess
up
what's for dinner?
Yes, the
Chicken.
birds. The thing is, my problem with Faden's thing is I love the story you're painting. I have no idea why none of you brought up the previous Max Payne attempt. That's crazy. Terrible arguing on your side, but
Yeah, the movie
you didn't bring
sucks.
it up. Yeah, they didn't bring it up, so I'm not considering that.
Oh, that's the one with Mark Wahlberg.
But what I will, what I will consider though is the fact that you said it's about a man with his vices, and then proceeded to take all his vices away. So I think that undercut your story by making him a non-alcoholic, unlike Canton at this very moment.
It's a mocktail. Shout out to our sponsor.
So I will give this point to Canton.
Yeah, boy! I just want to
I will
thank...
say your staring did not help. So
Bro, if you can lock eyes with your enemies and intimidate them...
But you were locking eyes with him.
I was just like,
You can lock eyes with your enemies. And
I was like, I really don't want to give him this point, but he argued the best. So I'll give it to him.
Damn
right, I did.
Okay, we are going to go into question 3. We love seeing people explore a metaverse in film. What's cooler than escaping your depressing reality? But we want to know what fictional movie virtual reality would be coolest, the most fun to explore, and we will start with Faden.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie.
No, this is a podcast where you shouldn't be lying.
This question, dude, I don't want to necessarily be in a virtual reality for a couple of reasons. Because, dude, life might not always be great, but it can be good. It can be great. And that's
Cue
why
inspirational
I went.
music.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Naruto ones? Yeah, that would be cool. Anyways.
For our editors.
Edit it in. Anyways, I went with The Matrix. And at first glance, because dystopian world, all of that, that's not great. But in The Matrix, you are not even aware that you are in a virtual reality. You can be living the perfect life, which is actually... it ends up being better than the life you're living right now. And I personally would rather, if I had to choose, if I had to be forced to be put into some virtual reality, I would choose The Matrix. And one that would be adjusted to something that would be fulfilling to me. And that would be not just fun for a brief period, but fun for the remainder of my life.
Fantastic opening argument.
I was
Caleb?
so tempted to jump in, but I know the
And then you
rules.
did.
I know the rules.
Caleb?
So why I chose the universe I chose, there's actually 2 different virtual simulations that take place within the movie I'm talking about, which is Gamer. And I just want to talk about...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, we'll get there. But what are the things that we remember most, that we hold more in our hearts in regards to loving video games? I don't know about you guys, but some of my favorite memories of video games is playing Call of Duty with all of my friends. I stayed up so late.
Do you have a lot of Afrikaans friends?
No.
Just the one. Okay, keep going.
But what's great about that is like it really sticks with you, and there's the virtual reality Slayers allows you to live out Call of Duty in your like real life. And then on top of that, what I really thought was cool is there is another virtual reality called Society, where you actually just get to play Sims 2 for your whole life. And I'm the biggest Sims 2 fan. So that
Another old game.
movie gave me 2 of my virtual realities where I will be happiest. Yeah. And so that's why I'm going with Gamer.
Okay, let's hear from Canton.
So what is yours?
Gamer. There's 2
Gamer.
virtual realities within the movie Gamer.
You were supposed to research beforehand.
I did. I was confirming.
Good response.
Okay, my virtual reality, And if you've seen the movie Ready Player One, okay, so in Ready Player One, you've got this, technology's kind of taken over the whole planet. It's so much more realistic, immersive. You got this chum who looks like he jumps onto a treadmill and he's like, right, let's get into this world. But then in this world, you can experience anything and everything in such a way that it almost kind of, it's like a cinematic MMO where you get your own character, you get to customize it, and then like whatever you're doing in this world, there's different game modes, you can customize your character even further, upgrades, the works, there's different types of characters. And I think that what's quite cool about it is the fact that there's no limitation to it. If you want to be, something in the context of like a Warhammer, Warcraft, all of that, or, maybe an elven vibe from like a Lord of the Rings or a Jack and Dexter or whatever, you've got your character.
It is Dexter. Sorry, continue.
Whatever! But like, if you want to be whatever you want to be in the context of whatever world inspires you and is the most entertaining to you, you can. Also, worth noting, without any repercussions. Because if you remember Ready Player One, it's a world where you play in a game. So if you die in the game, you're not dying in real life, but you're in this world that you just get to experience, that you get to push the boundaries, take risks, but you can think about it first.
There's something that's coming up about the plot. I'm like,
but the whole idea is, this world is something that's worth exploring, worth being part of, because it's fun, it can be anything you want it to be at the same time while experiencing other things all at the same time.
Okay, 3 great opening arguments. Go for it.
The moral of your story is that people spend too much time in the oasis. And the solution at the end is to literally put rules in place where people are only allowed to be on it on Wednesdays and Fridays. Like the movie itself is telling you, you don't want to live in this universe because it's robbing you from the real world. That's the whole point of your movie, is to say, don't spend time in our virtual reality. It's dangerous for you.
But forget the movie.
I'll take it.
Forget the movie. The movie, yes, in and of itself, sure, I agree with. However, to be in a virtual reality, that's probably the best one. Because the whole idea, and kind of touch on something, a lot of people use gaming as like escapism, but also on the flip side of the same coin, it's like instead of escaping from something, it's leaning into something that you get to experience a better part of life, whether that's through reflection, processing, community. There's so much to it, but that also you get to do something that ordinarily in and of itself you can't do by yourself. But there's this world that you do get to be part of that's like, hey, this makes me feel more me. But still, in your defense, still going, okay, but there is still a real world out there. But this virtual world is something that's like, hey, this makes me feel most alive. And I think that's why it's the best virtual reality to be part of.
I think this idea
I want to know what Epiphany Faden had.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I think they do actually get hurt when they get hurt in there.
Oh, because they wear the vest.
Yes.
But they don't die.
But I mean, enough blows so there is a danger to your physical body. It's not all fun. It's framed as fun and escapism, but you can get hurt and actually die. And if you get lost in this world, your physical body can just wither away because it's getting no nutrients, nothing.
Is that not a setting though?
Yeah,
like,
but
when you go do,
it's a feature.
When you go do laser tag, you wear the vest and they're like, do you want shock belt or not?
So I will fact check this because I remember this point. It's something that it is optional, yes.
Because it also depends on the gear you have. So I'm not going to hammer on too much more about your point of escapism, because I think at the end of the day, with the fact that like people's entire lives exist in the oasis, they make their money through it. They've dedicated so much time. Like, you're like, oh, but what if they do this? What if they do that? You just sound like a dictator now. What's going to end up happening is people will make the oasis their reality. And you see that by the fact that the currency takes place in Oasis. People live their lives to make money in the Oasis so they can live. In regards to yours, I think yours from a philosophical point of view might sound great and very, very smart. But you're basically saying, I want to live my life outside of my life. You are talking about how you want to live your life, but you're doing it for a pointless cause, because we know the Matrix amounts to nothing other than generating power for these machines. You're going to live the exact same life, except slightly more green.
Yeah, this is the reason.
Did you say green?
Yes, there's a green tint.
Yes, there is.
Green tint, yeah. So that is a good point, but that's the thing about all of this. No one's living their real lives in the virtual reality, which is why I don't like the concept, actually. And also, let's not forget about in yours, people actually die.
I don't know what you're talking about.
People actually die. You don't have a choice. There's no consent when you are killed in your...
That's firstly a lie. That is a lie. The whole movie is based around the fact that you can choose if you want to be a player or if you want to be a NPC. If
But
you want to be the character.
that's great. I can choose
Now,
to
what
murder
is great-
people.
But most of them also are inmates. That's the big thing. If you are entering the Slayer, like Kingdom...
I love to play
it is
virtual reality games with criminals.
It's entirely up to you if you choose to do it or not.
Yeah, but
and
still,
no one is
there's-
forced. Not a
it's-
single person is forced into that world. And what's great about it is there is a forced removal. Because how the game works,
By
and
death.
the guy how Dexter, the actor who plays Dexter, is the bad guy. in this. He even talks about the fact that you can either choose to pay to play or you pay to work. It's entirely up to you, and you don't even have to be part of the system.
I assume get paid to it.
Yeah, no. So you can choose to be a character in the game where someone will control you, or you can choose to. So you are either getting paid so that you can better your real life, or you can get your element of escapism
Just make it your
by
present.
entering the simulation. And no matter what happens, it can't remove you from the real world because it uses real world money. So either if you want to use this world as escapism, it's going to get to the point where you can't afford it anymore. So you can't use it to escape the reality of your life. It's like playing video games for now. It's like it's a live service game. You can play it for a little bit, but you have to return to reality. And you don't have to murder people. That's like saying, Baden, I'll shoot you if you don't shoot. No, you always have a choice.
That was a threat.
You always have a choice, Baden.
No,
There's
And
a
so
Assassin's
that's
Creed
my
movie.
closing
Yeah,
argument is that it
didn't
always
blame me.
comes down to choice. You aren't forced to do anything, but you are forced to leave. You can't stay in there forever.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I actually forgot to nitpick theirs, actually. So, The Matrix, Brother Bear. You think about it logically and practically. They're living, and you said it, a lie.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
It's a beautiful lie.
But let him cook. Let him cook. But it's a lie in the sense where, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, every Matrix movie, they always running from something in that reality. And sure, it's because they're the
chosen one.
They're the chosen ones. They're the most aware, and like I get that. But like, think about being like, you know, obviously, I almost said Nero, but like you know, like the South African name Neo, it's like Neo. So think about it.
I smell a parody.
There we are. Yeah. Hey. So it's like in that virtual reality, it's like, first of all, you're living a lie, but you don't know it's a lie. Where in like Ready Player One, it's kind of going, hey, listen, it's not necessarily a lie in and of itself, but it's a world that you get to experience, and probably for the most part for fulfillment and fun. And then for yours, I feel like ours are slightly similar, but yours is a little bit more like, okay, like, should I do this? But then I got to go back to like this life, and then, oh, should I do that? And I guess, again, it's a bit of like a contradiction, because mine is very similar, but mine is for fun. And I think that's the best world to live in, is one that's entertaining, that brings you fulfillment to be a better human being.
Faden, finish.
Okay, so closing argument. Listen, like I said at the start, virtual reality is not it, guys. Go outside, touch some grass.
Play PlayStation on grass.
Listen, excuse me.
You've had your chance. Go, Faden.
So this is the thing, and I specifically said, like I said, it's a beautiful lie. I'm not the one in Matrix, in this thing. I am living a life that is completely catered to what I perceive as fun. This is my, you know, I brought up Naruto earlier. I'm going to put you another word, infinite Tsukuyomi. This is the perfect life for me, and it's fun in that regard. And I'm not even aware that I'm sitting in some test tube where I am getting nutrients, by the way.
With a shongololo in your head.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. So Ready Player One, you know, Caleb made a good point. What if your money runs out? Then you can't turn on the thing. And load shedding, imagine that. Done, you pulled out.
That's if you Ready Player One in South Africa.
But again, and yeah, so Caleb again, dude, there is actual murder happening. Guy, that's not fun.
He's got consequence.
There's actual murder. So that's the thing. Yes, there are a lot of ethical problems in the Matrix, but I have no idea about it.
Okay, time. So, I don't know if anyone's ever seen Kick-Ass. At the end of Kick-Ass...
Oh, is that superhero movie?
I can't remember his name in the first movie, but he's called the motherfucker in the sequel. And
this is still a family
him and
podcast.
Kick-Ass just punch each other at the same time and they all pass out. That's what happened here, but 3 ways. It's tough because everyone just knocked each other out here. So I don't want to give points here, but I am forced to. And I think, surprisingly, I don't think people are going to agree with my choice here. I very much resonated with what Faden said. I think you very much did well in emotionally manipulating.
You took the wrong pill.
No, the thing is, I'm very much on the same page as you with everything you said, and I understand the issues. And you responded nicely to everyone's. I thought they were going to knock you down, but because when I think it was Canton when he said, no, but you're escaping, it's not real, and then you pointed out that's everyone's case here. So, and also, so Faden, you're getting the point. I just want to say the issue is not the Call of Duty world, and you know that. You do understand in Sims, real people are being made to do stuff that's happening in Sims. So let's just leave it at that.
Let me clarify.
There are words
I watched that
can't
movie
say.
in grade 8. And I was like, oh, Call of Duty. Then I rewatched it a few days ago. I was like, oh, I
Terrible answer.
People are dying. People are being R-worded.
Caleb had his lying eyes the whole round.
How much of a Sims fan are you, though?
Check that right
Why?
there. Every
Whoa.
single...
Hold on, let's see. What were the 2 main cheat codes?
Motherload,
yeah.
and bullprop testing cheats enable true, which allows you to change all of the skins
Trust me,
and
he's
stuff. But you
gonna
can
know.
also use
And
clutching
what-
and max motives.
And what were the 3 prompts you needed to put into
Control
enable?
Shift C.
Okay. No, trust me, he's got you. No, but genuinely terrible answer, Caleb. Like horrible answer.
That's the one round I did not think I would win.
No,
at
I
all.
didn't
No,
think you
neither
would
did
too.
I.
I told Caleb, yes, this is a shit answer from
No,
Faden.
seriously, I was like, what the hell do I go with?
But no, your reasoning was creative. I love creative answers. Okay, watch out. You have been chosen as tribute and thrown into the Hunger Games arena alongside 24 other fighters. Luckily, you had 5 minutes to grab any video game weapon to take with you into the fight and force the odds into your favor. So which video game weapon did you bring into your Hunger Games arena? We're going to start with Caleb.
So I decided, flip, we're in a situation where everything is trying to kill me, not just, the other tributes, but the environment. What can I use to my advantage? What is the best tool that I can use for offense and defense? And so I chose the TMD, the time manipulation device from Singularity. It has so many different powers and so many different variables. It has the ability, obviously, to manipulate time so that I have the ability to age you rapidly, like instantly, so that you are just bones, you are dead immediately. But I also have the ability to restore things, to make things younger. So if I'm really hungry, I'm needing something to eat, I can basically produce fruit out of any trees I can find. I also have the ability to create barriers. I can create bubbles that slow down time. So if I see people are attacking me, I just create a bubble around me where everyone freezes. Then I have the ability to attack them. I can knock people back. It is such a diverse and versatile tool that can be used for offense, defense, as well as safety and protection and just gathering food for myself. So that's why I went with the TMD. Plus, it's super light. I'm not going to get tired holding it.
Awesome. Canton.
I would say, now, okay, you obviously have to have played the game in the franchise to understand what I'm saying, but the Leviathan axe from God of War. Reason being is, why the hell not, first and foremost? But like, think about it. You got ice, the whole ice powers. You've got all your different abilities that you can do. You can chuck it at a Mensa and call it back and you'll get it. So there's so much to the Leviathan axe, which is both powerful. It has a lot of agility. Again, if you've played the game, you can see how Kratos obviously uses it. And it's just one of those where, bruh, it's just a sick weapon. But Caleb's answer is making me think like I should have chosen like Thanos' gauntlet or something.
Yeah, from the famous video game Avengers.
Yeah, I know. But yes, Leviathan, God of War, I feel like it packs a punch. It has all the abilities that you need. It's upgradable.
Who are you getting to upgrade it?
The coins I collect, duh. And yeah, I can recall it and throw it. So it's both a melee weapon as well as a ranged weapon, if you think about it contextually.
I will, just for context, let's assume your weapon is fully upgraded.
Yes, because then you all are screwed.
You should have just said the fully upgraded axe.
Okay, Faden.
Okay, so the Hunger Games is not only a test of brawn, but it's a test of wit as well. And I thought, look, what can I use that can double as a weapon and as a tool? Dead Space's plasma cutter. So it's a gun that he uses to actually kill the aliens when they attack him, but it's also a tool at its core. So I can cut through metal, any object really, to get to places. I can cut fruit from a tree that Caleb, spawned for us over there. And I
thanks
can
for lunch,
also, I can also just shoot people when they try to, steal from me or try to kill me. So I can defend myself as well as build with it and just, it's a survival. It's like a Swiss Army knife, but with lasers.
That's awesome. Okay, go for it.
Canton, you are a very big, strong man.
A demigod.
That axe is going to be heavy.
But now, hang on a minute. Yeah? We're under the assumption that we can use our weapons fully.
Sure.
So think about it. I'm choosing the Leviathan axe or any weapon for that matter. Like, bro, do you know how to shoot the plasma gun from Dead Space?
It's a gun. Very light. One button. I don't know how to throw it.
I agree. Let's assume everyone can use.
So you are fully capable and skilled to use your weapon of choice. So yes, Caleb, I can pick it up and murder you with it.
So I think what is important to remember is that we are just three guys living in the 21st century, and we have concrete walls, and we have
that my
beds,
axe can go through.
And we're so soft. We're so soft as people. And we're going to be going up against people who have been studying to fight, kill, and murder their whole lives. We're going up against career tributes, people who have trained with every single weapon. So yes, you might have a super-powered axe, but you are just Canton with an axe that can have ice particles. Can I remind you, Alan Richardson was one of the actors, the man 3 times our height, muscles on muscles on muscles, and he's going to have an axe as well. You can go.
Can I remind you, the Leviathan axe is not a real-life weapon. Neither is your pew-pew-pew gun.
Yes.
So if we're bringing in real life with fantasy weapons, how do the two correlate? So we're assuming that the fantasy weapons...
I'm just talking about skill levels and stuff. You have to think, like, at the end of the day, you have got so many people running at you. You've got one axe. Yes, you can do a range attack. So, and then you recoil it.
But think about it.
Attack from the side.
But now
I shot that with my plasma cutter while your axe was there.
What I love about the TMD is that not only is it offensive, like, pew, pew, you guys are both dead already. You don't even know what I did because you're already dead. I have also the ability to create defense barriers and stuff like that to genuinely just protect myself. If I'm surrounded by people, I freeze everybody in the area.
I don't know the TMD well, so don't you lie to me. There's no fact checker today. I don't know.
I'm going to shoot down a time orb onto the ground. I'm going to run away. Everyone else is going to go,
question.
No, we want to kill Kane.
Question, what powers that thing? What type of battery?
No, but I'm going based on what...
But you don't run out.
But remember, if we are in the Hunger Games... If we are in the Hunger Games... Listen, if we are in the Hunger Games, this is also... Yes, there are power fantasies, but the Hunger Games is not a power fantasy. It's about survival. That's why Plasma Cutter, I can be a guerrilla warfare fighting. No, guerrilla warfare. That's the point of it. Like, yours is super destructive. They'll know exactly where you are. Yours too. If you make your fruit, I'll be like looking. Hey, a tree just popped up there.
Yeah, I can make that little one.
Alan Richardson snipes you, whatever, because you're over there.
You can snipe with a plasma cutter?
No, not me. I said Alan Richardson. I don't know. Do I look like him? But that's the thing. I'm thinking guerrilla warfare. It's a test of wit because I know I'm not going to be able to beat these people who are living for warfare, living for hunting people down. So I need to use my wit. That's why the plasma cutter is the best.
So everything you've just said, I think it's great. Actually, just boost up my answer a little bit more. The game.
That's a lie.
I like what you said.
I like what you said. No, but I'm not just spinning the truth. I'm telling the truth.
I feel like you're spinning the truth.
Singularity is based off guerrilla warfare. You are one man against an army having to use tactics. You've got to sneak around compounds. You've got to... a lot of the game is stealth. You're having to crawl through air vents, and also zombies, and not just zombies, also mutants. You're having to, and there are mutants in Hunger Games as well. So I've also chosen a weapon that is designed to assist you in encountering every single type of monster or enemy they might be out there. So yes, everything you said about guerrilla warfare is true, but can also be correlated to the TMD. I'm going to be stealthy, and I know I'm stealthy because a large portion of Singularity is stealth game.
I'm a stealthy little snake. So I have a question. Then is your weapon in the grand scheme of things, I don't want to say like OP, but defeating the point of everything? Because, for example...
You just said you wanted an axe that makes you a god.
No, but think about it, okay? Also... Kratos doesn't die.
Dude,
wait. Think about it.
I want you to, if you can connect the points here nicely.
Think about it contextually. If your weapon is that one, versatile, but can literally do anything. Then, like, let's say in the context of Fortnite, cool, 100 people get dropped on a map, cool, last one to survive wins, which is kind of this whole Hunger Game vibe. Why don't you just go, oh, okay, cool, so everyone's there, I'm just going to shoot once, and then everyone with a heartbeat just dies.
No, but that's
Because you can do anything.
That game doesn't have that ability.
No,
Dude,
know.
to add to that,
There are limits to what the game
listen,
can do.
to add to that, to add to that, why don't you just leave?
Yeah.
Why don't you just leave? If you can freeze time and then leave. Because why are we here? We don't want to.
Okay, put it this way. If I locked that door, right, even though you froze time,
the
you can't get out.
singularity, like-
But with your weapon, you can be outside and remove the whole building.
Dude, but you can.
Then everyone in the building dies. Even
wood.
the innocent
Okay,
children.
rot the wood.
You guys you are fundamentally misunderstanding
Closing
its
argument.
capabilities. It does not have the ability to send you through time. It is a time manipulation device, not a time machine.
Is this a closing argument?
Yes, my closing argument. So you guys are coming up with all these, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You guys are just misunderstanding its parameters. So you say it in your closing argument. So all I'm saying is, I've looked at this from every angle. How does this weapon that fits on my wrist is light? Because also, think about it. When you're playing the Hunger Games, one of the biggest things that also kills people is not just the other tributes, it's the elements. I needed something that would allow me to survive the environment. I needed something that wasn't going to tear, oh, cool, I'm walking around with this big axe. Oh, this thing is heavy. Or flip, I'm busy running away from people. I fall down a hill. I've dropped the plasma cutter. It is attached to my hand. It will never leave me. There are so many pros and next to no I would even say no cons whatsoever to having something that's basically just a fancy watch that allows me to manipulate my situations to ensure that I always come out on top.
Okay, Faden.
Again, why don't you just leave? You just hit the door. You can use that. What's it? The TMD? What TMD?
Yeah,
right?
The space-time continuum.
Time manipulation device.
That thing. You can use it to rot the wood.
Maybe you should
can
play
use it. No. I'm talking.
Yeah.
You can use it to rot the wood, and then you can just walk through it.
You don't understand how it works.
No.
No,
You
it's
just said it manipulates time. That door can be accelerated to the point where the wood rots. The wall can be accelerated to where everything crumbles. So you can just leave.
But
Why
then I
are you
do survive the Hunger Games.
That's how you survive. Exactly. So, but what's the point of it then? You aren't engaging in this thing where you prove your mettle, you prove your wit. You are relying on this thing as a massive crutch. And again, the Leviathan axe is cool, but man, it's just everyone knows where you are. And beautiful point. You're going to throw the axe and you're going to be sniped. You'll be just standing there and
That's
like,
unless
come back to me. And then as you're there,
That's unless I get them
Okay,
first.
Canton's finished. Yeah.
So, I agree with Faden. Your weapon, not what he said. So your weapon is one of those like there's no point. It's like if this guy can do anything, you can go, okay, I'm gonna create this thing around me and spawn a flippin' KFC, and I can just wait and for everyone to just die. But then also, let's say we're all in this
While
building.
eating KFC.
Let's say we're all in this building. The whole time manipulator thing, you can decay the bottom of the building and the whole building collapses while you're busy sipping lemonade.
We're in an arena in the
You
forest.
underestimate my ability as host to look through the bullshit. So keep going.
So it's like, okay, so it's like, that's like, it's OP. It's like, okay, well, yeah, then we'll all just die. But then, like the Leviathan axe, it's one of those where, if you think about it, this is a godlike weapon, and gods don't die. And okay, in Kratos'
Sounds very
context,
OP too.
in Kratos' context, he kills gods, like we get that. But it's like,
That's
but I'm using Kratos' weapon.
gods die.
Okay.
Spoiler warning in 5 seconds.
It's time. A million times
You
time.
see?
Kratos literally dies in God of War
Okay,
Ragnarok.
hold on.
Spoiler!
No, he
He
doesn't.
does. He gets revived by Thor.
Okay.
So he doesn't die.
He did die. He got revived.
Every chance Caleb gets, he ruins video games for me. Okay. So here's the thing.
Oh, sorry.
Is that also 10 years old, Caleb? My opinion going into this was that I hear the whole sentence, hated Caleb's answer because of the fact that it is, like you say, too OP. And then I was thinking, if I had to argue, how would I argue it? And I came up with a good way of doing so, and I was hoping, because I thought Canton was going there, and then you guys just did a terrible job of saying anything. But what you should have said is the fact that there are a million very powerful people watching the Hunger Games, and if they see him being that OP, they would have taken him out of it and killed him off screen. But you didn't say any of that. That's what would have happened. And that's why your answer was the best, but you
then the
didn't
credits
do
would have
anything
hit
with
sooner.
it. Yes. No, Caleb gets the point. Just because you guys are being stupid. You guys had the
No.
opportunity. No. His answer's the worst, but you guys did nothing with it. And you focused so much on saying silly things and not, you were close, Canton, but you didn't get there. You didn't give me a good reason why.
I should have just said, well, when the guy was writing the script, he got shot in the head and he couldn't finish the script, and therefore Caleb's weapon
The
wouldn't have
thing
been
is,
written.
You were so close to getting to a point where that would have cancelled that out. And you guys, for what it's
You
worth,
know it's a ridiculous answer. That's why you
I
guys-
really do.
Okay, sorry. Has anyone here played Singularity?
No, it's old.
Okay,
It's
fine.
piss
No,
water.
Honestly, guys, it was
It is
almost
seen
the
as,
game.
yeah.
It was almost the game I spoke about at the start of the episode. I chose not to because I didn't want to give spoilers.
Okay, but what I will say is, I do like the spirit in which you argued, and he almost brought it home, but you guys just didn't. So Caleb gets the point out of pure
Like
spite.
we should start the podcast where we just talk about that specifically. Remember that time we lost
Remember
that
that
OP weapon that
time
does
when-
not make sense?
It will be called the PAMD, the plot armor manipulation device. Okay, but
Space-time
yeah,
continuum.
I just wish you connected it practically, but then you guys spoke about KFC. We will go into our final question. Just so you know, you two have 1 point. Caleb has 2 points. He's guaranteed for the end, for the final speed round. You two must get one of those points or something else happens. Or
die.
Yeah, okay.
Argue terribly.
Video game question number 5. Video game movies can be good. They've just been bad for some reason. But we believe you can make a good one. So pitch a game property to adapt, a director, and a lead actor. May the best video game film adaptation win. Before you start, how I want you to handle this, just because I have a feeling this is going to run long, is Canton. Well, each one of you, give me your full pitch. And then in the same order, we're going to do closing arguments. That's
Can
it.
I knock down other people's arguments?
In the closing, yes.
In
so
the
you'll
closing,
use
cool.
the closing to knock people down.
Okay.
Canton, start.
All right, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We're talking about Days Gone, a PlayStation Studios zombie survival game. Actor will be Scott Eastwood because he looks like Deacon St. John. Okay. The director, Guy Ritchie, because you've got those quick nuances, quick cuts, it's got that slight humor to it, but it's still keeping it dark and gringy. But I think Days Gone would be so good. Now, to jump on a defense you might have, or an argument you might have, is sure, zombie movies are overdone. I get that.
It wasn't really what
But
it was.
Days Gone could be so good because of its heartfelt storytelling, its narrative of betrayal. Scott Eastwood, we know he comes from a lineage of good acting. So Scott Eastwood looks like Deacon St. John from the actual game. He'll crush it. And then, Guy Ritchie. I mean, you can't touch Guy Ritchie.
To assist you, I just want you to tell me why they're laughing. I know.
I don't know why they're laughing.
Then I'm not saying it.
Please
No,
never
shush.
go on to say it.
No.
Okay.
Why do I feel
I'll
like...
say it to my closing
No, you'll
arguments.
see. Yeah, okay. Fade in.
Why do I feel like I've been set up here?
You set yourself up.
Oh gosh, I've already lost the point.
Let's see. Okay, fade in.
Okay, another really rare game that... Sorry, man.
I'm waiting for this now, bro.
We'll see.
No, it's just you'll understand.
Oh gosh,
you'll understand.
I'm just drinking my mocktail.
So, Call of Juarez. It's a first-person Western game that takes. It's basically there are two protagonists, and the story is told from two conflicting sides. The game's gameplay, it's a little bit mid, but the story itself is really good. To the point that I can still remember it today, and I think I played it almost 10 years ago. And it's a Western, which is something we haven't seen a lot of nowadays. They are rare, far and few in between, because it's just superheroes all over the place. That's why my director is your lead star's father, Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is in his final days, because I hope not. For the Eastwood family, I hope not.
Depending when this episode comes out.
Because he's scarily old. It's like, Clint Eastwood's still alive. Damn, okay. But he was brilliant as an actor, as you mentioned, and he's also really good as a director. He recently directed a movie in 2024, I believe, and Call of Juarez could be his swan song of his directing career. Mm-hmm. And then, so there, like I said, there are actually three really important characters. Lead actor will play Reverend McCall, who is the protagonist, but antagonist to the other protagonist, which makes it a little bit complicated if I put it this way, but it's not that complicated. He is an old, like a former gunslinger turned reverend who finds his brother murdered, and the suspect of his brother's murder is his brother's stepson, Billy Candle. Billy Candle is the other protagonist. So the game takes place from his point of view, where he's running away from Reverend McCall, trying not to be killed, and he's accused of a crime he did not commit. And then Billy Candle will be played by this guy called Victor Rivers. No, sorry, not Victor. Lucius Hoyos, who is a up-and-coming actor. I believe he played in Wednesday. And so it's a young teenage Latino character. And then the other central character is the actual antagonist, Juan Mendoza, who is Billy's biological father, will be played by Victor Rivers. So Juan is a Mexican cartel leader and just all-around villain, and this is all about this missing gold from Juarez. So that's the point of the story. So that's why I believe this thing could really translate beautifully in a movie. Just classic Western.
Awesome, Caleb.
So I'm going to go with what many might consider a predictable answer.
Please don't say Star Wars.
It's only predictable because of how freaking good this would lend itself to becoming a movie adaptation. I'm going with Red Dead Redemption 2. And you said everyone who's played the game knows the story, understands how impactful it is. I'm going to go with Mel Gibson being the director, which some people might go, Mel Gibson, the guy who directed Passion of the Christ? I'm going to go yes, because not only is he a great director, he's a good director of grit. When you guys watch movies like Passion of the Christ, if you watch Apocalypto, if you watch Hacksaw Ridge, these are movies that are incredibly grim, and they're powerful, and they're emotive, and they're, for action movies, incredibly emotive as well. You watch Hacksaw Ridge, you're crying in the middle of a war zone, not only is it terrifying, but it's moving. And that's the story of Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan, who'll be played by Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin
spoil this as well.
There will be spoilers in this. Josh Brolin is such a dynamic actor who can carry the weight of responsibility. I mean, it sounds cliche, but we all know the character Thanos. He played Thanos fantastically. This is a man who's carrying actual trauma on his shoulders, and he might not necessarily enjoy what he's doing, but he knows he has to do it. And you see the same thing in Deadpool 2. Like, yes, Deadpool 2 is a campy movie, but when you watch Josh Brolin act as Cable, you can see a man who is lost. He's lost his wife, he's lost his child, and guess what? That's the story of Arthur Morgan. And he's such a likable actor as well that he's going to lend himself to this redemption story. He is, like, in my opinion, the poster boy of redemption. He's going to be this guy who he's done bad things, but is doing his best to move forward. And that's basically every movie that Mel Gibson has directed as well. So they're a perfect blend, and I think together they would do a fantastic job.
You can tell Caleb reviews movies.
Okay, so I think I'm going to switch it up just because Canton can't go first because that's a bit of a, you go first.
You drop the bomb.
Drop the bomb. So do you know who else looks like Deacon St. John? It's Deacon St. John, right?
Yeah.
Sam Witwer, the actor who played him.
Who's an actual actor?
An actor.
Who played Star-Lord in Star Wars.
And he's young enough to still play Deacon. It's not 10 years later.
It's his exact face.
It's literally him.
It's his exact face.
Yeah, but let's contextualize it. Would Scott Eastwood not be a more weightier actor?
Sorry, you make
No.
Okay, I'll keep that thought. Keep going.
Scott Eastwood is a really good actor because he's the son of the director for my movie, which is going to be brilliant.
Which is going to be brilliant.
Amazing. It's an untold story. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 is beautiful. I loved it. I think I cried.
I did.
Yeah.
I did cry.
But it's not even that old yet. And I think if you really want to experience it, you can just play the game.
The judgment on Caleb's face.
Which is brilliant. The game is fantastic. Call of Juarez is not that good as a game, and I'd prefer it as a movie.
I have a question about that.
Okay.
Is Call of Juarez a different game to Call of Juarez Gunslinger?
Gunslinger is...
I think it is, because I don't remember that story.
So Gunslinger is the latest entry, and they changed the tone entirely.
Sorry, continue.
Which is a good game too. That one's actually good.
Yeah,
so
that's why I was like offended, but because that's so fun. Anyway.
Yeah, Call of Warriors 1 is very mid. It looks so old, and it could do with a... it could do with remaster, but a movie would be even better. And again, Days Gone is a great game when you can just play the game. You can just sink 170 hours into Red Dead 2 and have the best experience, and it does not need a movie right now. Just like Days of Gone.
Days of Gone, man.
Ooh, yeah, Days of Gone.
Days of our
Red
God.
of Dead Redemption.
Yeah, Days Gone does not need a movie. It is perfectly fine as a game. And if you are going to make a movie, and there is actually an actor who acts pretty well and has chops, and he carried Starkiller, he carried
Deacon St.
St. John, and he can just do it in a movie because he's right there, and he doesn't. It's not 15 years ago now. He's old and has to pretend. He literally looks exactly the same. So yeah, Red Dead 2. I would love a movie, also just not right now. I can rather just play the game, because the game is also just like a movie because it has so many cinematics. So yeah, I think Call of Warriors, people don't even know about it. So again, and that's good, people don't know about, but Call of Warriors by Clint Eastwood. Oh wow, and it's a Western. What's Clint Eastwood known for? Westerns. Final movie, amazing. I'd love to watch this. And Sean Bean. And I'm going to spoil Call of Warriors because Raven McCall dies in the movie. And what does Sean Bean do?
That's the spoiler I didn't want.
What does Sean Bean do in a lot of his movies? Die beautifully, gracefully, and has a monologue. And has such a beautiful monologue where he also has redemption. So it could be like, guys, it's like Red Dead Redemption, but not, because I can just play the game. I'll watch Call of Warriors.
Okay, Caleb.
I might.
You don't need points, by the way.
Yeah, no, I might end up shooting myself in the foot for this. But interestingly enough, the only reason Canton got Days Gone was because he submitted it first. Both Faden and I also said Days Gone, but we specifically said Sam Witwer playing Deacon St. John.
But is he...
And this is the thing. It's my closing argument. Deacon St. John is a phenomenal actor. He's actually in my top 5. I love... That's what I said. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sam Witwer was one of my favorite actors, not just from a voice acting point of view, but from an actual acting and performance point of view. His performance in The Mist is heartbreaking when you watch this man being thrown out of store. He can display such an amazing range of emotions. A lot of people also don't know this. He was Doomsday in Smallville. Like, he has such a diverse range. To just say, I want to cast Clint Eastwood is doing a disservice to Scott Eastwood is doing a disservice to a fantastic actor. And both of you have said this one point, which undermines Clint Eastwood immediately. You both said, from the loins of Clint Eastwood. If you are only a good actor because your dad is a famous person, then you aren't a good actor. You've basically undermined your own points by saying that.
Oh.
So I want to say this. You've also spoken about, Red Dead Redemption came out so recently. It's been almost a decade at this point. I'm not a fan of remakes, but all of us are remaking games here. So I think the timeline doesn't make a difference. What does make a difference is both you and I are wanting to tackle Westerns. Red Dead Redemption is remembered beyond fondly by a vast majority of people who participated in that franchise. There's this one meme where it's like, look into the mirror and see who you want to become. And the joke is Arthur Morgan's in the mirror. And I'm like, I want to be Arthur Morgan one day.
Are you? Damn, bro. I don't know about that.
But no, there is, and again, just to type everything, I think the directing by Mel Gibson lends himself perfectly to that gritty world that is about redemption. It's basically going to be a Western version of Hacksaw Ridge, and who doesn't want to see that?
Okay, Canton, finish.
So you both, and you touched on it now, you both said Westerns, which is cool. Personally, I feel like there's enough Westerns out there. Like, thanks, appreciate it. However, maybe for a plot armor first, where the whole tonality of the podcast is to disagree and prove how yours is better than the other two. However, a plot armor first, maybe. I actually agree with Caleb. I think your director,
Why are you doing that?
your director and your actor, and also your game to turn into a movie. I do think, however, that would be an absolute banger of a movie. Yours. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. No. However, I'm still going to justify mine. So I do agree with you. I do agree with your viewpoint. However, Westerns, thanks so much for coming. Appreciate it. I feel like that's an era that maybe we can touch in the next 10, 20 years again. Days Gone with Scott Eastwood. I feel like Scott Eastwood is a more weightier actor. I think that guy will carry that role with more personality, more grit, but also with Guy Ritchie behind it. Scott Eastwood as a lead with Guy Ritchie as a director. The combo of those two would be so damn good. Now, obviously, supporting actors and, all the other roles, that's like kind of open to discussion of, who could complement who, but I think those two would be such a good gem.
Cool. Let's time it there. Can I stop bringing in Darth Vader? If Darth Vader's somehow been tied into every answer, now with Sam Witwer and everything.
This household needs counseling with all things Star Wars.
Okay. It's a tough one. So it's definitely not Canton, but not just because the truth is Scott Eastwood is not a weighty actor. Scott Eastwood is a trash actor. He sucks. I hate him. So
tell us how you really feel.
I can't stand Scott Eastwood. When he's cast in something, I don't want to watch it. But that's not the reason.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I can't stand him.
That's wild.
He's nepotism, and everyone who's like he should be Wolverine pisses me.
No, okay, hold on. Yeah. Oh, wait, I can see that. I can
That's
see that.
only because they wanted Clint Eastwood to be Wolverine back in the day. But here's the thing. Now I'm stuck with you two. So now I'm basically seeing who's going to make the better Western. And it's tough because I think Caleb painted a beautiful picture. I do like the line of we all know the story and we've know it recently. And beating the best game of all time, allegedly, is going to be a tough thing to do with the movie. I love your pitch 100%. I just think the technicalities behind it, which was pointed out by Faden, is what just brings them above you. Great answer. Very good answer. The thing that I wanted to say that I couldn't believe no one said is, why wouldn't you just say to Caleb what happened the last time Josh Brolin played a cowboy, Caleb? Jonah Hex happened, and it was terrible.
He was great in Jonah Hex.
No, but it's a very bad movie.
It's a bad movie. You can't blame an actor for
fine. It's not that I didn't. Like I said, no one brought that up, but I would have used that as a point. But Faden, you get the point. So that means it will be Faden and Caleb in the end round.
Whatever.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
But no. The good news.
No, Vincent, I'm not upset.
No, here's the good news.
No,
you become.
You don't know the answer, Sway.
You become the co-judge with me and help decide the winner.
Judgy.
You like me. I agreed with you on a lot of things, right?
Bro, what if I'm vegetarian?
Then I'm not vegetarian. Okay. For those who don't know how the speed round works, is the two contestants remaining, those two, will each get 20 seconds uninterrupted to argue their answer, and then 15 seconds to rebuttal that answer, always uninterrupted. The questions, they don't know it at all yet. I wrote it yesterday. So they will have to come up with answers on the spot. When I ask the question, shout out your answer and nothing else. Okay. You will argue in the order you answer. And for this speed round, it will, as we stated, be Faden and Caleb. Faden, Caleb, Canton. Faden. It's been getting these three names
Western
confused.
Bros.
Yes, the Western Bros.
We don't deal with zombies here.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready for your first question? Yes. Just shout out an answer when you have one. What is the best video game based on a movie?
The Emperor's New Groove.
Okay. Okay. So I technically started hearing you first. Yeah. So you're gonna go first. Your answer is that's the game's name, right? Okay, cool. And you let me get the clock ready.
So what did you say?
Emperor's New Groove.
Oh god.
Okay, you will have 20 seconds to argue that, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Back in the PS1 days, movie games were actually good, especially the Emperor's New Groove. Platformer, fun, colorful. Anyone can play it. Hilarious, even more funnier than the movie, and just it's a good time. It tells exactly what happens in the movie, so you can enjoy it.
And time. Okay, Caleb, 20 seconds starts, and 3, 2, 1, go.
The Mad Max video game, which is an adaptation or a tie-in video game to Fury Road, expands upon the story. It allows you to have a deeper understanding of what the characters are experiencing. It's a prequel, so it sets up all of the motivations before the movie starts. Has a very similar gameplay style to Arkham, so if you enjoy tight 3D action, you definitely want to check out Mad Max with great car combats and customization.
Okay, so you're going to have 15 seconds to rebuttal. 3, 2, 1, go.
Mad Max is not a sequel, prequel. It is a tie-in. It's a fantastic game, but it is not a movie adaptation. It is adaptation of the source material, whereas Emperor's New Groove is literally the movie, but it's a game.
Okay, cool. Left 3 seconds, but it's all good. And 15 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, go.
You say Emperor's New Groove is a tie-in. I could be, but you're not
Adaptation.
experiencing. You're not experiencing the story. You're experiencing everything in a 2D plane. You're limited. You say it's funnier. I really don't see how you can say that. It's one of the funniest movies out there, and the comedy just doesn't translate to 2D.
Okay, I have to ask, just for the sake of it, is it 2D or 3D?
It is a 3D. It's
Okay,
a
it's cool.
PS1.
No, it's all good. I just wanted to know. Okay. Canton, who do you think won that round?
I must be honest, I actually agree with Faden. Mad Max originated as a game
so
first.
I'm on the same page. So Crazy, I do think you won. He fumbled his
Well done. Well done.
Mad Max is
Well
a great game, though.
I love that. It's a great game.
He
You
sadly
did it.
fumbled his
I
rebuttal.
almost
Yeah.
said Toy Story 2, which
I
would
know,
have
you should have.
I should have.
I thought you
that
would.
Have given me the, that would have given me.
Okay, so well done. That is
Well done,
that is the
Faden.
only time where Emperor's New Groove will ever win in the history of podcasts.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
What I would have said if I was in the top
Yeah.
2 is Constantine.
Never played it.
Okay.
Have you ever watched the movie?
Yes.
Yo. Anyway, as we were.
That's a good thing for you viewers to go check after. Not like he says, don't pause anything. Okay.
Whatever.
Now, question 2. So it's 1 point Faden, 0 Caleb. Which movie character would inspire the best themed controller?
Sonny from iRobot.
Okay.
Movie character.
5.
Batman.
Okay, cool. I heard Caleb first, Sonny from iRobot in 3. Stop. In 3, 2, 1, go.
With the Sony at the moment has been dishing out controllers in every single different color. I mean, we've got the very famous traditional white over here. I'm thinking with Sunny we can go a little bit more translucent and everything. So it really just ties itself into the PlayStation. It keeps the identity but it really allows us to elevate.
Time. Okay, Faden, you're going with Batman in 3, 2, 1, go.
And specifically the Batman. So the movie's still very new, and you can market those controllers with the sequel that's coming up hopefully soon. Black is beautiful, man. Sleek. You can have a little bit of not pointy horns, but just the theme, and it's been done before, and it worked, and everyone remembers the movie.
Okay, cool. Caleb, 15 seconds in 3, 2, 1, go.
You're arguing for a movie that's very, very old while trying to tie it into a movie that's coming up. There are already so many different Batman controllers for so many different platforms. I don't understand how you're going to try separate it from what came before. It's just going to look like a black controller at the end of the day, which is...
Okay, and Canton in 3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, I can.
I was about to say.
I've been doing this the whole day, switching everyone's names. Okay, Faden in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, it's not old. The movie's still coming out, so it can actually be marketed with the sequel. Robert Pattinson's movie came out, I think, 3-4 years ago, max. But still, that iRobot is old. Who remembers that? And the controller would be cool,
Time.
but we
Okay.
don't know where it's from.
So I'm not gonna it's obvious. If the question was which movie character would inspire the best marketing for a controller, Faden would have won. But it isn't the question. So Caleb wins that one.
However,
Go for it.
can someone who is in the PlayStation field
I know there is a Batman.
No, there's no Batman DualSense controller, but there is an Astrobot which will compete with iRobot, which Sony would not allow. And also, you need to remember,
Sony would not
data
allow.
and numbers speak. People would buy a Batman DualSense more than they would an iRobot DualSense, especially when it comes to the tonality of Batman and the
he really
franchise.
he took that. Canton, we've got 15 seconds, literally.
So, you choose? My money's on Fader.
Okay, but Caleb, you get the point.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Okay,
I got you, bro.
I've got a new friend.
so it's 1-1. Next question. In honor of Super Mario Galaxy coming out next year, which Nintendo character should get their own movie next?
Luigi.
You said Samus, okay. Okay, and I heard Caleb first. 3, 2, 1, go.
Samus is such an iconic character that also was one of the first female characters that was actually recognized as a female character, so female empowerment there. But her world is amazing, and it's so incredibly immersive. I mean, if you're a big fan of Iron Man, you can take a lot of similar mechanics there. But she hasn't been explored on the big screen yet. There's so much untapped potential.
Okay, so fade in 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go.
Luigi's Haunted House would be a really cool sequel to the Mario movies, and it builds off of existing characters that everyone is familiar with, and actually allows Luigi to not be this player 2 and have his own moment to shine, which could be fun for the kids, the whole family. It would be great.
Awesome. Caleb, 15 seconds in 3, 2, 1, go.
The reason Luigi's Mansion 2 took so long to come out is because the first one wasn't really profitable. So we've seen what happened to the latest Ghostbusters. It didn't do well. We saw what happened to the all-female reboot of Ghostbusters. It didn't do well. Is there space for a comedy horror film? I don't know.
Time. And fade in 3, 2, 1, go.
While Samus is a really cool character and recognizable amongst gamers, I don't think she's recognizable amongst movie gamers, especially kids. And Luigi, we saw him in the Super Mario movie, so he can. It's a tied sequel that it makes sense marketing wise.
Okay, Canton, who do you think should win that?
So, Luigi is forever in the shadow of his brother Mario. We know this, obviously. But I do think Luigi's Mansion, that's a good franchise to dabble in. I think it's a familiar one that people know. So, yeah, without saying too much, I would say that.
I agree. I think, Faden, you did a perfect job there of painting that picture. Well done.
Well done, Faden.
I'll reveal. I know for a fact Caleb knows very little about Samus. I don't either. I was like, good luck, Caleb. Good answer. Did you know her being a woman is a plot twist in the first game?
Yes, because she's wearing a bikini.
Feminists, unite!
And the bikinis.
I love it.
I just said strong female representation. A woman in a bikini.
Yo.
Okay, so that's 2 Faden, 1 Caleb, which means we are at match point at this point.
What, really?
Okay, this is a tough question. This is tough, okay. Which Ben Stiller movie should have been a video game instead?
Night of the Museum.
Yeah. Okay, I heard you first. Pick something else.
I don't even freaking know how the Ben Stiller moves.
Don't say Zoolander.
Bruh, you weren't lying when you said this was difficult.
4.
Don't mess with the Zohan on
That's
PS2.
not him. That's Adam
Oh,
Sandler.
flip, really?
5.
Have you watched Life of Walter?
Don't say anything.
a different Jewish person.
Don't help him.
Zoolander.
Yeah, fine.
On PS2.
Okay. Stoute Canton. Okay. Caleb, we're going to give you 20 seconds first, going with Night at the Museum in 3, 2, 1, go.
I think that's a phenomenal property to take on and make a puzzle adventure game. You can have so much fun with it. I think it can lend to the same sort of tone as Escape from Monkey Island. Kind of like a point-and-click adventure game, but also I want to make it fully immersive, first person. You can see these structures coming to life. I think it's got a lot of room for both education and entertainment.
Time. Perfect. Okay. Faden in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, specifically using Zoolander, it could be hilarious because the movie's pretty funny, and we could use other peripherals from Move and whatever is on PS5 because I don't have a PS5 to just bring interactiveness to it and just make it interact with the film scenes as you pose.
The funniest ending to.
we didn't set you up well for this one.
Caleb in 3, 2, 1, go.
I think the gameplay is the biggest issue you have facing with Zoolander. I mean, you just said you're going to be posing, so at most it's going to be a different version of Dance Dance Revolution. Whereas with Night at the Museum, it's a first-person adventure game. You're going to immerse yourself in that environment. You're going to have a fantastic time.
Okay. Faden in 3, 2, 1, go.
I think if you had to go with Night of the Museum, rather make it like Hogwarts Legacy, not a first-person point-and-click old, really. And yeah, look, Zoolander's weird answer for a movie. I didn't really choose it. I needed help. But we could make it
time.
fun.
I'm cutting you off. Okay, Caleb gets the point.
Yay!
We are at... Because
that is a tough one,
I
I'm
actually
sorry.
disagree with Caleb. I don't think your gameplay has issue. I don't think you have gameplay.
Exactly. Yes.
So we're going to just move on to the big tiebreaker.
Okay,
So it's winner takes all.
Okay.
Okay, I actually hate this question, so I might go to the other one. Yes, yes, I'm going to the other one. I hate the other one. I'll tell you which question it would have been. I would have asked you Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or 3. I don't want to end on that.
I would have been so
here
good
is
at
what I am going to ask you. Which movie looked the most like a video game?
That's not a video game, but
Yes,
adaptation.
yeah.
Hoodwinked.
Hoodwinked.
Okay?
Toy Story 2.
Oh, okay. Interesting approach to that question. Okay. I obviously heard Caleb first. Caleb, your 20 seconds starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hoodwinked is basically just a movie in PlayStation 2 format. When you look at the animation styles, even when you look at the type of comedy and humor, it has that campiness of a video game from the mid-2000s, where they realize that they don't have the hardware to support anything, so they have to make it entertaining by making it humorous. And you can see that in every element of the film.
I also saw that YouTube video.
So wait, is that a YouTube video?
No, don't worry about it. Okay, fade in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, graphically, Toy Story 2 looks like a video game based on just like the animation and all of it. And it was so fun as a movie that it translated so beautifully into one of the best PS1 games, Toy Story 2, the game of the movie. And that's why I think that's...
Cool. Okay, and Caleb in 3, 2, 1.
You say Toy Story 2 looks like a video game, but when you play Toy Story 2, you can see that's not the case. The graphics really weren't there for that point yet. So yes, you're saying it looks like a video game. It just doesn't. That's not true. And I think it's about
Time.
toys.
We don't care what you think. Okay. And fade in 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't think Hoodwink looks like a video game either. If we talk about technology, Toy Story PS1 was limited by technology. It would look so much better today. And it could look one-to-one because the characters are there. They look cartoony. They'd fit perfectly into pixels.
Okay.
They really are pixels.
Okay. Okay, so that's very good. I just think, unfortunately, you guys went down the same route with how you approached this question. And when it comes down to the route you took, Hoodwinked is famously the correct answer in that regard. Why
did you argue so hard for your own podcast? Damn it!
Caleb has won the episode. I was rooting for you, Faden, but you didn't pull through, and Caleb did a fantastic job.
You weren't wearing an Assassin's Creed hoodie to begin with.
No, I
earned that.
I think this is progress from last time. Done. And yeah, I did not specifically want to be in any speed rounds because No,
you smashed me for the first few speed rounds. Like, it wasn't
I was
even
like,
close.
Faden might win this.
I thought you were going to win this.
I'm always eager to see someone new take a victory, but Caleb is keeping his victorious record.
Yeah.
But fantastic job. Last time you didn't even see the speed rounds. Never mind, like literally did not see
had to leave.
Yeah. So well done, Faden. Well done, Caleb, and well done, Canton.
Honestly,
whatever, man.
Canton would have made it if you had just chosen Sam Whitwer. I would have literally, said, you win. I wouldn't have even argued.
Okay, but it's okay, because hopefully you'll come...
Tough times never last!
Only tough people last. And this is a perfect point to transition into saying thank you to our beautiful guests, some more beautiful than others. Oh no, I'm not a guest. Sorry. But we will first start by just saying thank you to Tebedien. I love seeing another 4 empty glasses, as they always are. Nothing for Caleb to choke on this time. And we also want to say thank you to God for being present during filming, before and after filming, and making this happen for us. And we always want to take a chance to honor him. And luckily, we are 4 God-loving people on this episode.
Amen.
Don't be funny now.
Nothing says Christian like arguing.
Honestly.
Actually,
So, but before we officially sign off, Canton, give us a final shout out. Whatever you want to shout out your platforms, whatever you want to do.
Guys, send money and send help. No.
Plot armor.
What, to shout out myself? Yes. Oh, yeah. Come say hi. Anything at Canton Parker.
Awesome. That's all they need to know, man. They'll find more about you on the socials. Faden, anything you want to add?
I repeat, don't follow me on social media. I'm just a normal... I'm not an influencer.
He's that Christian. Don't follow him. Follow Jesus.
Follow Jesus. Dude, that's so cringe. But true. I wish I was that cringe. I'm not that cringe type of Christian. But guys, just, keep following this podcast. Comment. It helps. And just thank you guys for inviting me again.
Always.
And for not letting me win. I feel like I would have won if Canton was the judge for the speedrun. I would have won. So I've made a new friend.
Okay, that's good.
I'll go on his podcast next.
So what you've learned is, if you want to see more of Faden Just watch 10 episodes from now and you'll see him. And then Caleb, you want to say anything before I sign us out?
This has been an episode we've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. It's actually the first themed episode that was planned.
Yeah, proper themed, yeah.
The Superman one obviously came out
Soft
first.
themed, yeah.
But this was our first proper themed episode, and the only person that came to our mind straight away was Kenton. So thank you so much for.
And then
for
later we
jumping on.
figured out Faden. Yeah.
And then we later figured out Faden. Faden was just a godsend, to be 100% honest. And I'll say this about Faden: he platinums every single game he plays, which I just don't have the
Even
patience
My
for.
Little Pony.
I don't play that. I don't think it has achievements though.
Okay, that's perfect. Something that's also good for you to know is that we are, as Caleb said, wrapping up the season and have something very epic planned for the final episode, so keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, now is a good time to say goodbye, and we will do it with an amen.
Goodbye. Farewell.